Hello and welcome to episode. Why do I never check? Why do I never check what episode it is? Absolutely ludicrous behaviour by me. 49. 7 times 7. Quick maths. Welcome to episode 49 of the Good Guy Podcast. Here we go, we'll get stuck in. As always, I've just taken the dog for a walk. First kind of wet and rainy day of the old lockdown for me. So the dog got a bit muckety. Had to give him a wee bath when he got in. He was very cute little dog. He's a Cavachon, if anyone knows dog types, and his name is Cosmo, after a singer called Cosmo Jarvis, who's now an actor, who's in that Wild with Horses, Calm with Horses. It's got Barry Keoghan in it. What is it? Something with horses. Uh, What the calmed by horses, pulled apart by horses. Um, what's the fucking? Oh no! Where is he? Horses, pulled apart. The horses. Calm with horses. I had it. I said it at some point during there. Let's make sure we clock. It's currently 6:30. It is Wednesday, the 29th of April, 2020. So that's what day it is for me. Nice to check in and know what fucking day it is. I've got a new hat. It's got a V on it. It's not. I didn't get it custom made. It's made by Vans. So if anyone wants merch, Vans, I won't get any money from it, but you'll probably support some Vietnamese sweatshop of some sort. Let's just getting me anxiety. It's not recording. It is recording. Just making sure. I'm just making sure. We'll have a little chat. How was the walk today? The park was less busy because it was sunny. But it's weird. I think a lot of people, ironically, it's quite sunny now. That's not ironic. That's just the coincidence. Fuck's sakes. People were always saying, "Oh fuck, isn't it even worse because it's sunny? Isn't it even worse because you have to, because you're locked inside and you'd love to be outside and all." And I kind of agreed. I thought, oh fuck's sake, of course it's a lovely day. Of course we're having class weather when you can't fucking go anywhere. But then I was like, wait. No, I wasn't. It became rainy. And I was like, what? What the fuck? This is even worse. Because it was just sat inside and it didn't even look nice outside. When it was sunny and nice outside, I was like, oh, class. That's really nice. I could just pop out into the garden, chill out there for a bit, throw a rugby ball against the wall, do whatever. And it was just nice to look at. The blue sky, the sunshine on the grass in the garden. But now you look outside and it's fucking grey. And shite. And rainy. And just overall bollocks. And what the fuck, like? What am I supposed to do with that? Let's turn you down while you're just there. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think the weather's had a good... Yeah, as soon as it started to get grey, I started to feel a bit worse, I think. I think I was... Just got me feel a bit down. And just like, oh, fuck's sake. Like when the weather was bad outside, I kind of thought... I was more often thinking, when the fuck is this going to be over? Do you know what I mean? Because I don't mind, like, I'm not... I like the sun, I like it being nice weather and all, but I don't... Like, normally, if I'm out and about, like, gigging in London, like, I don't really mind a bit of fucking rain when you're running between places and going from the tube to the comedy club and, like, back and forward, and it's like... It's kind of fun, you feel like you're doing something, you feel like you're overcoming something. But, like... Now, it's just, like... An extra, like, wet blanket on top of a wet blanket of a situation. Do you know what I mean? Why am I asking you if you know what I mean? If you know what I mean, just touch your nose as if we're playing poker. I saw it. Good work. Good work. If you didn't touch your nose, don't worry. It's probably not your fault. It's probably my fault for not explaining it well. water. Disgusting. I wanted to talk about, there's a thing in music called clanging. It's mainly in the classical music world. I only really experienced it in when I moved to London to go to music college, because I'm very, very talented. Fuck, that laptop's pure moving about. I hope the video isn't too shaky. I still can't get a hold. I've bought about 4 different cables to connect my camcorder to my laptop to get it all going through one system. And I think realistically, I should just fucking film it separately to the audio and do the old and sync it up later. But I'm being a bit lazy with that at the minute. Next week, I'll make a note and I will use the actual camcorder on a separate tripod to my laptop so I can tap away and maybe watch some videos with you guys and have a bit of fucking crack. But for the moment, it's just like a bit wobbly on the old skateboard on my desk. I don't know why I thought a skateboard on my desk would be a good idea, but I think it like looks cool or something. There's something about it, like having a laptop on a skateboard. And there's a couple fucking boxes between the skateboard and the laptop as well, because it needs to be at the right height, because I'm very, very tall. I'm not tall, I'm 5'11", but I'm built like a Shetland pony. So like my legs are very short, but I've got a very long neck, like a llama. And my head is quite large. And I've got quite a long body. So I'm built like a Shetland pony. Like the only people in the world that think I'm tall are barbers, because I sit down and they're like, holy fuck. I'm all body and neck. Short, powerful legs, explosive. Like a Shetland pony. I also am planning on getting, I am talking about Clang culture, I promise, but not right now. If you want a podcast that stays on track, go somewhere else. Go to one of those fucking scripted American podcasts. Hi guys, today we're going to talk to you about fuck off. Maybe that's disrespectful to them as artists and creators, and I should be supporting them at this trying time for our community. I just made a face at the camera if you're just on audio. It's an interesting, I feel like a lot of people are switching over to the old video, and I found that myself with the old quarantizzle, where I was a very avid podcast listener. I was always consuming some kind of something because I was on the tube so much and spending maybe 2 or 3 hours a day. Fuck, that's brutal. And then maybe not 2 or 3 hours, maybe 2 hours a day. Slightly longer travelling. On the worst days, I would say 3 hours a day travelling. Actually, on the worst days, 4 hours a day travelling, which is fucking brutal, right? But I just always had podcasts going on, just various ones. But now I'm not on the move, and when I go, like, take the dog on a walk, I'm trying to consciously leave my phone in the house because I'm very attached to it. This old thing. See, I just got distracted by it again because I'm very attached to it, so I try and leave it in the house and go take the dog for a walk and just kind of just laugh at the dog because he's a fucking idiot. That's basically what I've been doing. Oh, I should. No, it'll survive. I just thought I should probably put my laptop on charge. I'll plug it in. Let's try and not make it wobble though. In! It wobbled. Fucking bastards. Oh, my throat's sore. You get this? See, fucking, because I'm doing like zero talking all day, I kind of come to do the podcast where I have to talk for an hour in an engaging manner, and I can't just like talk with my voice kind of relaxed almost. I don't know what this is, but anyway, it's just like I feel like the muscles in my throat are not, they're kind of, what's that fucking word? They're atrophying. But I bet they're not. I bet you that's impossible. But I just feel like I'm not. The tip of the tongue and the teeth and the lips. The tip of the tongue and the teeth and the lips. Clanging. Yeah, I know I was in the middle of something. Fucking idiot. So I was talking about the podcasts. So I've been sitting down and like casting like the YouTube versions of the same podcast often to the TV in the living room and just watching them. Um, but I am still consuming way fewer podcasts because I would like, I don't know, I'm just not putting it out there. Although today I did some exercise today, which is great as well. Like on top of the dog walk, which we're not counting as exercise because walking is not exercise unless you're. It is exercise. It's just not fucking proper. Fair play to you if you're not an exercisey person, then you're just walking at the minute because fucking crack on. I don't mean to disrespect your form of exercise. It's all I've been doing for a good little while. I got up this morning and I just decided, you know what? My mate John Maher, by the way, the Open Guard podcast, absolutely fantastic. He did an episode about Mike Tyson's early years recently, and it's this podcast about mixed martial arts and boxing and interviews fighters, and this one was like a little kind of mini documentary podcast about Mike Tyson, and it was fucking great. And I got up this morning, I was like, fuck, I'm going to listen to that Mike Tyson podcast, it seems great, and I want to listen to it and kind of spread the word, because John's great, he's been very good to me, and he's a fucking great guy. You should check out his podcast. I'm sure he already gets more listens than me, or viewers, or whatever. But you guys are going to keep spreading the word, and we'll fucking take over the world with the Good Guy podcast. Up the fucking Good Guys. So I decided, with a wee fucking stationary bike, I realised today when I was like, oh, I jumped on the spin bike to my brother, he was like, that's not a spin bike. It doesn't, like, spin bikes have like wheels that like they're still stationary, but they have wheels. This is just like a stationary exercise bike thing. Like pure fucking, like the absolute typical, stereotypical, your ma bought it and then it never got used. It got used for like a week and then it never got used again. And it was the same as the cross trainer that's all, so they're both just sitting in the garage and they've kind of been set up vaguely, but they're kind of with a fucking old TV that's a fucking square, and mum was like, oh, put something on there, and I'm like, nothing I would watch would fit on that TV, my laptop's bigger. But I just thought, look, I'm just going to chuck on this podcast, and I had about maybe half an hour, 40 minutes of it left. So I chucked it on, and I was just like, I'm just going to go on the bike, and I'm just going to go, and I'm just going to fucking cycle at like a fast-ish pace. Going to keep cycling, not absolutely fucking sprinting, but just like on a decent little resistance. And I did, and it was really fucking good, and it wasn't like I did a fucking Joe Wicks thing or whatever, but it's just like, I think I'm aiming to just keep all that ticking over. I'm not looking to come out of quarantine in fucking ridiculous shape. Hey, could I get any fucking... Yeah, definitely. Definitely have been in better shape than this, and definitely shouldn't pretend I'm in good shape. But I wouldn't say I'm in bad shape. I would say I've been quite sedentary for a good little while. So I'm not fit, but I'm not fat either. So I took that on. Anyway, in music, particularly classical music, there's a thing called clanging. And I'm going to call this episode Clang Culture. This is the fucking first time in ages I've come up with a title for an episode before I fucking go to upload it and go, oh, fuck's sake, what did I even talk about? And fucking upload it. Come up with some clickbaity title. Hopefully some musicians have are tuned in because it was called Clang Culture. If that's the case, welcome to the show. I'm going to talk about clanging, the Ku Klux Klan, and see what that fucking crack is. It's like, basically what it is that if someone name drops or venue drops or job drops, like, I'm sure it started with name dropping. Someone will go like, ooh, Clang, or like drop their keys or drop a pencil or drop a pen or whatever, and it's just like this culture of like discouraging people from talking about their achievements and things that they're proud of. And I know I flitted between throughout my time in music college and in that world of like, and I still kind of very much exist in that world in a sense that a lot of my friends are in that world and I'm connected to it. And I went through phases of being like, yeah, you don't talk about what you're doing, like you just get on with it. You don't need anybody knowing your fucking business. You just crack on with your. You don't need to mention it, like name drop. You're just name dropping for the sake of name dropping. And there are people, and it's very tiresome when someone says, "Oh, what have you been up to?" And you know the only reason that they're asking you, "What have you been up to?" is that so you ask them what they've been up to, and they'll go, "Well, actually, I was working with the Royal Philharmonic." Blah, 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 blah. And it just gets really fucking annoying when you know every conversation is just a chance for them to show off, and maybe that comes from a place of insecurity for them, where they feel like they have to really emphasize their value because they don't feel valuable as a person. Maybe they want to just, like, their only value that they see of themselves is their connection to these people that they can name drop about in these jobs that they've done. And that's a discussion to have, where you need to draw value from yourself as a person. And I think I'm becoming quite good at that, where I know that I'm a good person. That's a big reason why this is called the Good Guy Podcast. That belief in yourself, in being a good person, and having good intentions and meaning well, allows you a real sense of relief, because you can just get on with what you're doing, and you don't need to big anything up, and you can play, and you can make fun of things, and you can make fun of yourself, and I think you just really have to find that place where I believe in myself that I'm doing the right thing with good intentions here. And it came up in a WhatsApp group I'm in recently. Some guy said, "Do you ever feel like a real dickhead?" And I was just like, "Nope. I think I'm really confident in the fact that I know that I'm at least setting out to be a good guy. I'm never setting out to do any damage to anyone." And the guy was like, "Oh, I sometimes will deliberately kind of hurt someone, or like if someone pisses me off, I'll deliberately try and like negatively affect them." And I think, fucking, just don't do that. Like that seems, that's like, I don't know, that's just like a bit fucking. It was weird to me. And I know there's that thing of like people like to get their own back and whatever, and I just think you can't be doing that, I think. And I don't want to put it across that I think my belief in myself as being a good person or a good guy excuses anything I could potentially do. And it doesn't mean I'm never in the wrong, but it means I don't stress about being in the wrong, about fucking up, about getting something wrong, because I hold my intentions to the highest account and go, my intentions were good, and judge it by that. Because if you start judging things on outcomes, it gets a bit weird and spirally, and you kind of feel out of control of everything. But if you back yourself to know that I'm trying to do good, I'm trying to make the world a better place, I'm trying to improve other people's lives and improve my life in equal measure, then if something goes wrong, you can go, "Hey, look, I'm sorry, but it's not going to ruin your sense of self-worth. If you fuck up, if you lose a job, if you don't get this gig, if you don't fucking do whatever, you have this thing of like, no, I am worth something, and I bring enough to the table as a person that I don't need to fucking base my value on things I've done." Because if you base your value on the positive things you've done, then you'll lose all your sense of self-worth if something goes wrong. Especially if you're placing that value on the people that hire you and the people that you're associated with this name dropping thing. Because if they tell you, "No, that was shit," then your sense of self-worth goes, "Oh, fuck. that's the person that I derive my self-worth from. So they've said it's shit, so I'm shit. So you kind of have to be aware. Like, weirdly, it's a selfish thing to just know yourself and believe that you're worth enough and go, no, 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 no. I know I'm at least trying to do good. And if you're not, if you look at yourself and go, but that's not always true, then that's what you need to change. That's the point where you go, okay, I need to fucking have a little look here and move forward with it. But this culture of clanging, that kind of spiraled off of someone who clangs a lot. And it's hard because I fucking hate talking to those people, and maybe I should address it in like a. But you can't say this. You can't fucking say to someone like, I think you're deriving your self worth from the work you did with the fucking London Philharmonic. Like they're not going to take that well. It's not. Or maybe there is a way to phrase it, and I'm not deft enough to be able to work out how to do that. But maybe the fucking. But it's hard. Like, you don't but you don't want to be one of those people either. You don't want to be the fucking clang machine. But you shouldn't, especially with your friends. Like, I there was almost a thing of like, anytime you'd say something, they go, oh, clang. And then when you stopped, like when I got my first ever professional orchestra gig with the Ulster Orchestra, I remember, fucking smick. I remember when I came back after Christmas and that had happened. And to be fair to me, over the same time period when I'd been away from London, I got dumped from a 3-year longer relationship. So that was mostly what was on my mind. And then when the guys, like my mates, found out that I got this like professional orchestra gig, which is like quite a like, oh, your first one, that's fucking class. It's like a big step in the right direction to do whatever. They're like, why the fuck didn't you tell us? And I was like, because you would have just gone, oh, clang, clang, and like, or you like stomp your foot or you drop your keys or whatever, and it's just like, you get like trained to not fucking to not open up and say the thing and be proud of your achievements that you've worked hard and been fortunate, and you're just like to be happy about. So it's this weird thing where like musicians just want each other to just get on with it and don't talk about anything you do, and you should be allowed to be proud of what you've done and proud of yourself and share that with your friends and go, oh no, that was great. I was really proud of that work that I did, or that job that I got, or that gig that I did. But that's a vulnerable place to put yourself in, to be proud. And this links in, man, I'm so good at structuring podcasts. This links into a movie that I watched this week, Coach Carter, which is a great movie if you haven't seen it. It's fantastic. It's got Samuel L. Jackson in it. It's got Channing Tatum in it. He's not exactly a big part, but it's good. And it's like my girlfriend Izzy was like I said, can we watch Coach Carter? And she was like, what's it about? And I was like, basketball. And she was like, fuck's sakes. And I was like, no, come on, like, it's not really about the basketball. It's about the kind of relationships, and it's about growing up, and it's about becoming a man, and this whole thing. And which is weird because I just felt weird saying that. I felt weird to say that the film is about becoming a man and maturity and self-respect and discipline. But that's what it's about. But I feel wanky saying that. I feel like, Jesus, fuck it. It is a basketball movie, but it's not. Like, it is about all those nice things. It's hard to be sincere. It's hard to be kind of vulnerable like that. In the same way, it's difficult to be proud. But there's a moment in the movie, and we'll get it up. We'll get it. Oh, I did feed the dog. I need to tell my dad that I fed the dog. Give us a wee moment. He is fed. I'll be down in a bit. Call me when you can. Jeez, I'm a very in demand man. Sorry for texting during this, but I just wanted to. I just need to make sure the dog didn't get double fed. Okay, this might get a bit wobbly on the old laptop. I will do my best to make it not wobbly. But I would like to play for you this speech from Coach Carter. Basically what happens in the film is there's this guy who kind of gets kicked off the team a couple times. I fucking can't remember his name for the life of me. Oh, I don't know. Lorenzo? No, maybe not. And he's kind of very troubled, and he's like dealing drugs, and he's mixed up in the wrong crowds and like guns and violence and gang stuff. And he just he kind of just he's a real, like, he's a great character in it because he really wants to, like, he's torn between this life of kind of indulgence and quick money and potential jail and death, and he sees his cousin die. Spoilers. And throughout the film, Samuel L. Jackson's character, Coach Carter, keeps asking him. Sorry to the video people, this is a bit wobbly. And he keeps saying, "What is your deepest fear?" And all the guys are like, "What?" At one point, Samuel L. Jackson says, "What is your deepest fear? Is it that you're inadequate?" And all the other guys are like, "Why does he keep asking that?" He keeps saying, like, before he puts him into the basketball game, he goes, "What's your deepest fear?" And then nothing. And there's a certain point when he gets back into the team and they work on their grades and this whole thing, and yes, this moment of, like, the boys really show support for Coach Carter's kind of disciplinarian tactics of making them study and making them reach certain grades in school. And then the school decides, no, they're going to play basketball even if they haven't done the grades. And then Coach Carter goes into the gym to leave, to quit, essentially, because he's not being supported by the school. And the boys are all in there studying, including this boy who's been a complete reprobate and has never really done much in fucking school. He's even there at the tables, and so Coach, this very nice moment. And this guy, this is going to be an ad, I fucking know it. Plus 500. Are you a trader? No, I'm not. I'm a comedian and podcaster. And he gets up. So Coach Carter is going into this thing, and this young man gets up and gives this speech. Fuck, this cable's fucked. Hopefully this works. What the fuck? Well, that works. Oh my god. I hate technology. Oh shit, did I just turn myself up? I did. Fuck. I'm really fucking this up and I'm sorry. This is really fucking annoying. Fuck off. Oh my god. Right, worst case, this laptop camera's being fucked by this. But worst case scenario, I will just play it on my phone. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Man, the levels are going to be all over the place. I've really fucked this whole podcast up for a clip from the movie Coach Carter. Is this going to fucking work? Right, we're doing it on the phone. I don't know why is that not working, man? I buy a new cable for that like every fucking 6 months, and it just fucking, Jesus Christ. What? Right, I'm gonna just get it on my phone. No, we'll do it on the lap. No, it might not work. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get it on my phone. I'm just gonna play it into my phone, and it'll just work. Okay, into the microphone, and it'll just work.
Sir, they can cut the chain off the door, but they can't make us play.
We've decided we're gonna finish what you started, sir.
Yeah, so leave us be, coach. We got shit to do, sir. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Sir, I just want to say thank you. You saved my life.
Thank you, sirs. All of you.
No, I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. Oh fuck. That I'm a bit loud in the mix. I think that I mean I don't care. Oh fuck. That was great. I mean I know it's a fucking stupid basketball film, and this is the problem. And I know I fucked around with the cables and fucked that all up, but I hope it was worth it, because fucking it's just so important, that sentiment of not shrinking so other people don't feel inadequate. Be proud of what you're doing. Be joyful in your own successes. Be joyful in other people's successes. Shine as bright as you can. And try and do as much good and bring as much as you can into the world. Bring as much as you have to offer, and don't fucking dare. Don't fucking dare let anyone tell you that you're not supposed to talk about the things that you're proud of. Because we're all fucking important. We all have potential to do really, really cool, really good things. And it doesn't serve anyone else. It doesn't serve you or anyone else to shrink. Be big. Stand up. Make yourself known to the world. Change the world. I don't know. I know some people won't like this. I know some people will find it very indulgent or wanky or something. But I want to live a life that I'm proud to share with everyone else. And that's why that's just my whole aim. And that film is great. And I managed to just about not cry during that. But I hope that you can take away something from that message of just be bright. Just let yourself be proud of what you can do and what you have done, and work hard so you have more to be proud of. Be my advice. We've been going for 36 minutes. We'll keep cracking on and then we'll hit some questions. Yeah, man, I don't like. So this, I guess that it comes back to this clang culture thing of like, it's funny. I always used to do ironic clangs for shit that wasn't like important. Like if someone was like, "Oh, I had this shit gig the other day," I'd be like, "Oh, clang," and then it's just like funny. But maybe it's important to not, because it's scary. It's scary to be proud of yourself. It's scary to say, and I've said this in the last couple of episodes. It's kind of come up. It's scary to announce to the world that you have value to offer, and anything other than, because people might judge you, and if you're one of the judging people, and it's not a certain group of people, it's just sometimes we all kind of judge people for, I go like, oh fuck, what are they doing? What the fuck is that? But you gotta let people do their thing, and gotta just say, oh, okay, they're doing the best they can. They might not be, but you gotta assume the best of people as much as you can, and just go, I'm doing my best, they're doing their best. I shouldn't shit on them as long as they're not shitting on anyone else. And it's a tough balance. It's really tough balance to be able to find humour in things and to poke fun at people and things, and but also to just create an environment around yourself where everyone feels comfortable being proud of themselves. John, that guy I mentioned, John Maher, who has the Open Guard podcast, he's a great guy, for he is always open to hearing good shit that's happened to you and stuff you're proud of. Because he's just genuinely happy for people, and something I really, really strive for, and it's really, really hard. It's really hard. I feel like I sound like I'm on the verge of tears, because I am, but fuck you. It's really hard to see people do well, and just do well, especially in fields that you want to be involved in, or if you think they haven't earned it, or they've undeservedly gained some plaudits, and you're like, why haven't I got there? Why am I not doing that? But that doesn't help you, and it doesn't help them, and it doesn't serve anyone. You gotta just go, oh, that's great. If they're your friend, if they're your fucking enemy, good for them. Fair play to you. Like, they can do what they want. I wish everyone all the successes. There's room for everyone to do well. And I hope that if something comes of the quarantine, it's that people kind of come out of it in the same way that, like, I was trying to work on a bit, which I've maybe never tried on stage, where I talked about how gay people have this stereotype of being very, like, flamboyant. And I was trying to work out a way to talk about it where it's like a spring. Because if you push something down and oppress it and tell it to hide and be in the closet and wrap it up and squeeze it, it's a build up of pressure that when they're allowed to come out, they do so and they explode out from the oppression. And it's the same, you see it in, like, when dictatorships end, countries go mad, they have a real party culture, and And in Spain, they're very kind of vocal, and then they fucking swear on the news and all this mad stuff. And it comes from this sense of like, of a culturally knowing what it feels like to be trodden on, and just exploding out of that and going, oh, finally. I hope that's what happens with the lockdown, that people feel what it's like to be constrained, and they go, do you know what? This is what I feel like in my job that I fucking hate, and I'm going to go do something that I fucking love where I can use my talents to improve the world. And I hope people just explode out of this lockdown in the most extravagant way possible, is what I hope. And I joke being like, oh, there's going to be loads of shit people trying stand-up comedy. But you know what? If 100 shit people do their open mics, and you get one amazing comedian coming at things from an angle that no one's ever seen before, great. Perfect. Oh God, my disc is almost full. What does that mean? Does that mean this is going to run out of space? Hopefully not. Shall we hit the questions? Maybe let's do one more topic that I wanted to talk about. And I guess this links as well. I'm watching this Michael Jordan documentary that's on Netflix. It's technically a Chicago Bulls documentary, but it's always been in the... Everyone's talking about it as the Michael Jordan documentary. Maybe if I just empty my bin on this laptop, that'll free up some space. Fingers crossed. And he very openly said, I want to be the best. I want to be the best of all time. And he is, in my books and in many people's books. He's at least up there, but for me, he's definitely the best. And he's an example of setting out your stall, and people don't like it. And that's okay. That's okay that they feel insecure about you saying that you want to be the best, because I'll openly say I want to be the best comedian in the world. And I've openly said I really think I have the potential to be one of the best in the world. I think I have the ability, and I need to work really hard at it, but I think I have the natural ability to really fucking go down as one of the best to ever do it. So I'm going to try for it. And there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else. There's no other way to go about your life. What do you... Like, just work as hard as you can and aim to be the very, very, very best. Because otherwise you're never going to know how good you could have been. If you're only aiming to be fucking, I just want to pay my bills, I just want to do this, I just want to get by, I just want to have a normal life. That's all you're ever going to have. But if you announce and go, this is what I'm fucking aiming for, I want to be the best comedian in the world. And people like Andrew Schultz, and people have mixed opinions about it. I think he's great. I think his comedy's great. He's not, for me, the best comedian in the world. I think Dave Chappelle's the best comedian in the world. I think Andrew Schultz could get there. He's got fucking 15, 20 years to have as much experience as Dave Chappelle, and maybe... And it's weird because everyone's different, so it's hard to like know who's funnier and who's better, like, because that's not always the same either in comedy. But he'll say, I want to be the greatest of all time. And you want to like wear that belt. You want to be, at some point, people were going, yeah, I think he's the best in the world. And there's only a few comedians that have ever done that. You've got George Carlin, you've got Bill Hicks, you've got Richard Pryor, you've got Dave Chappelle, you've got Patrice O'Neill for me. You've got, I think Michelle Wolf's heading in that direction. I think I've heard Ali Mack say it. She's coming on Doing Bits soon, which is twice a week, by the way. If you're also a fan of Doing Bits live with me and Ishan and various comedians, it's now twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30, and this comes out on Wednesday evenings. So if you're listening on a Thursday, tonight, 7:30, we've got Alfie Brown on. So jump on to the YouTube live. It's great. We're kind of running out of time here. I'll hit the questions. I'm really kind of pleased with how that episode structure kind of worked. I don't particularly remember setting it up in such a way deliberately to make it like that, I guess. But fuck, I'm getting a lot of these fucking bots on this Instagram, like, any questions for the podcast thing. Would you prefer only bikes or no bikes? I'll tell you what I'll do. Actually, also at the end of this podcast, I'm going to play that Coach Carter clip again, just to kind of send you off into the world with that in your fucking brain. Only bikes or no bikes? Does no bikes mean like no planes? Because I do want to go to America and take over the comedy world. So I guess no bikes. I'm okay with no bikes. I don't really cycle. I used to, but I kind of just don't anymore. Can you boil water in the oven? Surely you can. Yeah. I'm going to go with a firm yes on that. Because if you set your oven to 180 degrees and water boils at 100. Yeah. I wouldn't, but you can. Favorite type of dog? My dog, he's a Cavachon. I like a little sausage dog. I like he's got like a working Cocker Spaniel, black one. Very, very nice. Very affectionate. I like that. Favorite ever bit? This is a good question. Favorite ever stand-up bit? One that just sprung into my mind there. I mean, my favorite ever special is the bird revelation, which is or is it equanimity? Dave Chappelle has two specials that are in the same kind of little section of Netflix. Equanimity and the bird revelation. One of them's in a theatre and one of them's in the Comedy Store, and he sat down on a stool. The one where he sat down on a stool, the best special of all time. The funniest special of all time is Patrice O'Neill, Elephant in the Room. Again, my opinions. If you disagree, send me a message. The one that sprung into my mind is that from that Patrice O'Neill special is when he's talking about it's the opening bit of it. He talks about the value of a white woman is, you think, if she went missing, how long would they look for her? And this whole, like, it's a whole bit, and he talks about like this American football team who were mostly black that went missing, and they just sent someone to the edge of the beach, and they were just like, nope, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to call off the search. And it's fucking brilliant. Watch that. It's on YouTube. It's kind of nowhere else. Elephant in the Room. That was from Violin Mick. Big up Violin Mick for being a fucking legend. He's putting out like violin covers of loads of songs at the minute. If you want to catch him on Instagram or Twitter, he's got a Patreon and stuff, and you can send him little song requests to do violin covers of. Peter Quinn was the Can You Boil Water in the Oven. Michael May, very funny comedian. Would you prefer bikes or no bikes? Erica Ealer was favorite type of dog. Anthony 3.4. I dare you to say, get us 2 sausages out of Manny's in that accent without laughing. Get us 2 sausages out of Manny's. I don't know what that means, but I've just said it without laughing. Apologies if that was supposed to be very, very fun. Santino Piacentini Smith. When am I getting him on? Now, I've actually been thinking about this recently, and we've got 10 minutes, so maybe I'll talk about this. In terms of the Patreon, in terms of the people that are paying money for and to support me at the minute, I've been thinking about how to work with that, because initially it was like, look, I want everyone to have access to all the stuff, and then Patreon people just do it kind of voluntarily. But I kind of think maybe I'd like to give them something extra, and I posted some full sets on there from Glasgow and from Newcastle. If anyone wants to sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/Vittorio Angelone, you can get as little as £1 a month. It doesn't matter how much money you give, you'll still get access to the stuff there. But maybe maybe we have so my thought was, because this started as an interview podcast and I quite like it as an interview podcast, but I'm aware that some people prefer the episodes when I'm by myself, for some reason, because I think you get into a bit more of my thoughts. The interview one is always, I try to kind of platform the other person and give them space to talk, and I don't really get my thoughts across. But I guess if you're a regular listener to the podcast, you care about me more than most of the guests, I suppose. So let me know if you think this is a good idea or a bad idea, if you're still listening. And I normally hate when people ask this, but I kind of want your feedback on this. What if I did the interview podcast as like a Zoom podcast, not like doing bits, kind of more serious and more interview, like how the Good Guy podcast kind of started as the 42 podcast and moving through. Did that and put that out as the regular podcast, and then the solo podcast became the only available on Patreon. How would you feel about that? I think I like that, but then the other option is like to just do this as normal, and then do like or the interview one is on the Patreon, but I think that's tough because you want people to be able to plug their stuff on it, and then if it's on the Patreon, only a certain number of people get to listen to it or watch it. So the other option is to keep doing this as is, and then do like an extra little Patreon podcast that's maybe shorter, like 20 minutes of just like a bonus pod of some extra thoughts on some things. But yeah, I don't really know. I'm gonna have a think on that. If you have any thoughts, if you would be interested in the interview podcast and bringing back guests and stuff, that would be, just let me know. And if you would be interested in a bonus pod for the Patreon, let me know. If you would like to sign up to Patreon, I'm about 1/6 of the way to 1/6 of the way to making up the money that I've lost in quarantine. So I could still do with your support if you can afford to chuck me as little as £1 a month. Most people give a £5. One person gives £30. You absolute fucking legend. Like, I was completely blown away by some of the donations, and donating monthly as well and committing to it. Which is why I would maybe like to give them something a little bit extra for their generosity. So, if you'd like to support on Patreon, do it. If you can't afford to, or you'd rather not, can you do me this massive favour of just screenshotting the podcast and just posting it on your Instagram story and just tag me, because it just gives me something to post on my story, and people will be like, oh shit, there's people listening, there's people watching, whatever. If you're on a laptop, just take a picture of your laptop screen. Some people cast to their TV, do that. Just tag me, just post it in your Instagram story. I'm not fucking about it anymore. I would just like you to do that. If you can do that, I'll just fucking hashtag up the fucking good guys. That's the way to fucking do it. Thank you so much for listening. I really enjoyed this episode. It was I fucking cried in the middle of this episode. Bizarre. Not bizarre. Good. I like that. That's good. I want to feel vulnerable and scared and awful. I want to feel hurt by every podcast. You've been great. Thank you so much for listening. This has been episode 49 of the Good Guy Podcast. I will play that speech one more time, and we will close out the podcast with some inspiration from the man. I'll try and find the point in the thing. Here we go. Up the fucking good, guys. Thank you for listening.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Sir, I just want to say thank you. You saved my life.
Thank you very much for listening to the Good Guy Podcast. Up the fucking good, guys. I will catch you next week. And don't forget, doing bits Tuesdays and Thursdays. See you later, guys. Thank you.